We are your number one super dial. We are voice of the people. 90.3 FM is our strong dial. Welcome everyone to Front Page Review. My name is Jude. Ikami Jude. And as usual, I'll be flipping the pages of national dailies for you this morning. I've got Punch newspaper. I've got Vanguard, Daily Trust, Daily Post, The Nation, Guardian, and of course the Sun newspaper. Check time is 7:03 a.m. And of course, everyone, feel free to join the conversation this morning. All right? We'll begin with the Punch newspaper. The big headline here: sexual harassment hearing. Senators Ezekwesili clash. INEC faults Natasha's recall process. Sexual harassment hearing. Senators Ezekwesili clash. INEC faults Natasha's recall process. And then moving on, outside Nigeria, Canada-based Nigerian risks life jail for killing homeless man. Man flees after killing pregnant wife to be and daughter in Edo. Man flees after killing pregnant wife to be and daughter in Edo State. And then South Korea wildfire pilot dies as firefighting helicopter crashes. Back to Nigeria. Sanusi, Bayero take Kano Emirate tussle to Supreme Court. Argentina thrash Brazil to cap World Cup qualification party. And then outside that story, to Yola meeting, Atiku urges new movement to fix Nigeria. Many soldiers fed killed as Boko Haram attacks Borno military base. Discos raking 509 billion naira amid serial grid collapses. Dollar for petrol. Marketers protest. Dangote exports fuel to US and others. Zimbabwe deem Eagles World Cup hope after Uyo stalemate. Okay. Let's get to some more headlines now, everyone. Judiciary taking over INEC and parties' functions. SDP chair is the one who is saying that there. I won't be forced into submission. Natasha denies apology claim. Okay. I think we should check out Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here I quickly want to touch on. Yeah, a particular story as regards Natasha. But before we get to that story, let me give you some. To bomb another pipeline in Rivers, foiled. Police, Army, Navy, Air Force, and others are the ones speaking there. Bids to bomb another pipeline in Rivers, foiled. Police, Army, Navy, Air Force, and others are the ones speaking there. Failed democracy. Nigerians divided as presidency tackles Obi. On emergency rule in Rivers, Tinubu, NAS desecrated 1999 constitution. To some more stories. Dangote. Okay. Let's leave that story first. Cardoso receives how Harvard scholars reiterate CBN's role in intellectual discourse. Cardoso receives Harvard scholars reiterate CBN's role in intellectual discourse. And then foreign trade through maritime rose 91% to about 130.8 trillion naira. Trillion naira. Okay. Bids to bomb another pipeline in Rivers, foiled. Police, Army, Navy, Air Force, and others. Naira appreciates 1,575 naira per dollar in the parallel market. On failed democracy, Nigerians divided as presidency tackles Obi. SDP knocks Tinubu's administration on poverty, redemption, security, and of course, food security. On silent killer, NIMR seeks action as Or start again. Oh, the story is moving. Okay. Sule Lamido, stalemate, bridge builder. SDP knocks Tinubu's administration on poverty, redemption, insecurity, and of course, food security. Emergency rule in Rivers. Tinubu NAS desecrated 99 constitution, says Afeni Ferry. Akpabio versus Natasha. Senate hearing turns chaotic. Asunwa Ebonyi, Ezekwesili clash. Democracy not working in Nigeria. Obasanjo, Obi, Tambowal, Kuka. INEC picks holes in petition submitted for Natasha's recall. We are making progress in stabilizing the FX market and curbing inflation, says the Central Bank of Nigeria. Bandits hold General Siga for 49 days despite ransom. The general. 2027. I don't know if I will run, says Atiku Abubakar. Some people will say, don't run, sir. Just leave it. Support some other person. Don't run. So, but then Atiku is saying this morning, I don't know if I will run. Alleged 33.2 billion naira arms fraud. EFCC rearraigns Dasuki and 3 others. 33.2 billion naira arms fraud. EFCC rearraigns Dasuki and of course 3 others. Natasha's recall petition full of errors according to INEC. Okay, the INEC didn't see that video that's been circulating, right? Is that it? They didn't even see. In fact, they're supposed to just make their comment from that process already. Straight up. Straight up. Supporters destroy APC secretariat in Niger over consensus candidates for local government area elections. And then George withdraws from Natasha's suit after Akpabio's petition. Real reason George, who read verdict on Rivers crisis, attended unical convocation with Wike. That is according to Supreme Court. You explain, Taya. Rivers sole administrator appoints professor as SSG. Rivers sole administrator appoints prof as SSG. Demand for FX rises as Naira depreciation continues. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. We move from there to the Nation newspaper. Firm sues for 4.1 billion naira over negligence as CBN objects. And then Moro to lead Senate's delegation for Edward Clark's family home. 2027, why coalition against Tinubu may fail, by Labour Party ex-DG. Reps Committee to Lab Council, curb inflation of inferior equipment. And then bill to strip president, governors, bill to strip president's powers to proclaim new National Assembly, state legislators passes second reading. Bill to strip president, governor's powers to proclaim new National Assembly, state legislators passes second reading. And then, in Rivers State, cache of arms seized from pipeline bombing up subjects. Senate throws out Natasha's sexual harassment petition. Let's check Daily Post for some more headlines now, quickly. Otukpo, residents drink from mud as water scarcity worsens in Benue State. In Rivers, Nigerian police kill suspected vandals attempting to bomb pipeline. Ndume laments rising insecurity as Boko Haram dislodge military formations in Borno State. 2026 World Cup qualifiers, Lesotho right FIFA over South Africa's use of ineligible players. And then 2026 World Cup still. Super Eagles hopes take big blow after 1-1 draw with Zimbabwe. Outside Nigeria now, US ceasefire deal. This wasn't part of the agenda. Zelensky rejects Russia's demands. Trump signs election order, calls for proof of US citizenship to vote. US leaked war plan. NSA what explains how Goldberg was added to meeting. King Charles, Queen Camilla postpone Pope's visit. As regards wars, Zelensky slams Trump's envoy, backing Russian referendum on Ukraine region. Russia woman jailed for daring Putin over Ukraine. And let's get back home to Nigeria. Fubara trampled on democracy. APC National Publicity Secretary Moka is the one speaking here. Atiku calls for urgent restructuring, hints at major political move. PDP local government chairman signs chief of staff appointment after lawmakers' defection in Abia. Obi faction of PDP threatens to arrest Edo caretaker committee members for alleged impersonation. Kano deputy governor under fire for alleged derogatory remarks. INEC flags deficiencies in recall petition against Senator Natasha Akpoti. Okay, now, presidential election, House of Representatives, senatorial is a photo I can see here. And the headline says, mixed reaction trail proposal to hold general elections in one day. Mixed reactions trail proposal to hold general elections in just one day. And I would also want to ask you, what is your own take on this? Holding all the elections, general elections, in one day. Is it a good one or a bad one for the country? Let's have your take. We'll discuss this more, okay? But for now, just join me. Get to YouTube and then to the comment section. Let's get your views. Yes, of course. Can I touch on just some few other headlines here before I run? Appeal Court stays action on Bayero Sanusi tussle, returns parties to Supreme Court. And then again, General Hydrocarbons Limited floors First Bank in court. Organized labor threatens nationwide strike over Rivers political crisis. Petro1 warns against panic buying, urges policy review. Nigeria, China partner on AI-powered speed trains to boost trade logistics. On Natasha Akpoti, petitioners yet to meet requirements for recall, says INEC. And then US imports over 2 million barrels of Dangote fuel. Did you hear that? US imports over 2 million barrels of Dangote fuel. Minister unveiled 5 million jobs initiative for youths. Okay, let's check up the Sun newspaper now. And then I bring in Rufai Oseni. Quickly, yeah. Reps seek conduct of presidential Guba polls. Orders same day. You remember I told you, right? Reps seek conduct of presidential and Guba polls and orders same day. Plan to recall Natasha suffers setback. That's how the Sun is putting it here. Minister unveils 5 million naira jobs initiatives for youths. Senate probes MDAs over imbalance in public service appointments. Reverse emergency rule in Rivers or face strike. Labor threatens. 2027, Aregbe's camp in dilemma over Tinubu and Osun State. Okay. INEC releases tough conditions for Natasha's recall, faults process. You're on to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Yes, at this time, let's join Rufai Oseni. Good morning to you and welcome.
Morning, my brother. There was a show of shame in the Senate yesterday. And when you look at it, blames can go round. Yes, some people have said, Madam Obi Ezekwesili that said that shut up to the senator. Madam Obi Ezekwesili has also said that it was the senator that first said, if you people are not serious, let us continue with witness delivery. Then the senator went ahead and rained all sorts of abuses on Madam Obi Ezekwesili. And it speaks volumes about the senator. What was the bone of contention? The bone of contention was that the petitioner said they don't trust the committee. And truly, they have every right to. Has the committee shown bias? Yes. The same committee of ethics negated a court order and went ahead to suspend Senator Akpoti. That case is still in courts. Even before the hearing came up in courts, Senator Akpabio had gone to write a petition against the judge.
Okay.
So for those that can claim that they don't have confidence in the legal system, if a petitioner claims they don't have confidence in the ethics committee, they have every right to hear their view. Guess what? Senator Akpabio and his legal team had even gone ahead to the Court of Appeal, despite the fact that the case has not even been fully determined in the Federal High Court. The judge now, out of pressures and everything, have recused himself. That's on the case of suspension. That's the drama that is going on. So if the likes of the Madam Obi Ezekwesili that went there and said they were witnesses to what happened to Natasha, but with what happened to Natasha, and they said they don't feel confident, what the Senate should have done, should hear them out. It should not result into a shouting match. Because I just feel the shouting match has degenerated into a disgraceful situation. INEC wrote back yesterday that most of the petitioners for the recall, they didn't put a phone number, they didn't put an email address. Maybe they will sort that out and go ahead. But you can also see that the case that was taken for the recall, restraining INEC, the judge too had quickly rescinded. And if a judge gives an ex parte today and rescinds today, what is the pressure? What is the rush? And also, you've seen from the videos that we've posted out what is happening, how they got most of those signatures. You also saw the investigative report that somebody put out on Facebook yesterday that I was like, wow, what is this? I put it out on my Facebook too, where there was a group chat on WhatsApp where some of the team were talking and saying, how did that video leak, showing people that were signing the documents for the recall? So you can see what is happening in Nigeria. So you can see the high-handedness. See, I am not saying Senator Natasha is right or Akpabio is right. All I'm just calling for an investigation. But before the investigation, the question we should ask is, why are the forces high up there blocking any attempt for an investigation? See, he who fears nothing should be open to an investigation. And that's just what we are saying across board. That Senator Natasha Akpoti too should be allowed to bring her evidence forward. That's just all what we want here. We want to hear both sides. We are not saying Senator Akpabio is guilty. Never. Because as it is today, we have not seen evidence. But what we are just saying is, please, let them bring their evidences forward.
The right thing should be done.
So that we can hear all sides. And that's why the distraction, what I call it, in the committee sitting yesterday was needless. We don't need that. Because, you see, because the world is watching, and we fail to realize that. As a matter of grave national concern like this, and global concern, the world is watching how we Nigeria navigate through this. And if decisive steps are not taken, then forget it. But isn't it shocking that the Omale woman that is now going to put a recall up just because the senator claims sexual harassment and it's still an allegation, still used to be the person that used to fight against sexual violence in women. So isn't it shocking what happens in our country? Two things I'll tell you about our democracy. Our democracy has become moneycracy. You can get away with anything once you have money in this country. And it's not good. It's not good. In fact, I have a crazy idea, but I'm not going to say that idea on the radio as regards how money percolates into our democracy, so that we'll be able to expose these things. But this Senator Natasha's ordeal, you will see how it's panning out. But it's not a good sight for Nigeria. It's not a good sight for Nigeria. And please, real quickly, I want to make some clarification on the Dangote story.
Okay.
I was hearing some of the analysis yesterday. I think a lot of people are getting it wrong. Let me explain in full detail what is happening. The problem is with the federal government. Dangote has got no problem. In the early 1990s, there was a convention then that to ensure energy security out of Nigeria's production, let's set aside 450,000 barrels. You know why we set aside that 450,000 barrels for local refinery? The reason is what? Is that most of the local refineries, the total local refineries, that was their entire capacity then. You get my point now?
Of course.
So, but over the years, once our refineries start to have problems and we're not producing big time locally, we started to sell all of those crude in swap to use the money for other things. But as time went on, our refineries have started to produce. We've had a Dangote refinery that what its capacity alone is more than the entire refining capacity of what we used to have about 30 years ago. One refinery. It's way bigger. So once you have that, then they now agreed this deal again that we should come back to it. But now what is happening is that NNPC has sold most of its crude in swap deals.
Okay.
You know what swap deals are? To be able to get currency, money. All the money we're borrowing, some of them, we borrow them out in crude that we promise them that we'll give them crude for a later day. So there's something called Operation Gazelle 1 and 2. Operation Gazelle 1 was to get 3 billion. It was Afrexim Bank that facilitated that. There's Operation Gazelle 2, was to get a couple of other billions of dollars. Then we said we'll give them crude for the next 5-10 years. There's Operation Leopard. Also, these are crude. We say we'll give them crude constantly to pay back these loans. These are crude back loans. There are many different operations, and it goes on and on and on, that we have promised till 2030, 2035 that will be paying back in crude. I don't know if you are hearing me, my brother.
Of course, I can hear you.
Yeah, that will be back in crude. So, if we now have problems of not producing effectively, it will also affect what we can give to our local refineries, because you have used that to pay back in crude for your forward sales. I don't know if you get my point.
Of course.
So now government has now stopped that for 50,000 barrels they were supposed to give out, which the difference is just that they will give this 450,000 barrels to local refineries and they'll be able to pay for it in naira rather than pay for it in dollars. That's just the difference.
Okay.
So if government can meet its quota because of the problems on ground, it is not a problem of Dangote refinery. The question is, government must see how it can ramp up production to be able to meet those initially promised quotas. I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah.
So that's the correct explanation behind what is going on. It is government's fault. Because in the recklessness of governments, successive government, and these governments, when I said and these governments, some people were vituperating and said, don't say and this government. No, and these governments. Because you will see that if you can manage your resource effectively, you don't need to sell your crude for the future down. So you know what we have done today? We have sold crude that we have not even produced down for the next 10 years.
The last administration.
The last administration, and this one too. Operation Gazelle was under this administration. Operation Gazelle 1 and 2. I will even check. I think Operation Leopard 2 was part of it. So you have sold crude that you have not even produced. So if your production stalls, it's going to give you problem. So Dangote is now saying that, see, as long as I can buy a certain quota in Naira, I will have to tell the marketers to come and buy from me in dollar, because I also need that dollar to buy crude from the international scene.
Of course.
That the reason why I collected Naira from some of the marketers was because at least I bought some portion in Naira. Then the next thing, government starts to try to blackmail Dangote. Please, with my analysis of what I've done, is it Dangote's fault?
And in fact, Dangote is exporting to the US currently.
Yes, because he's buying in dollars and he still has to run his refinery one way or the other. But you can't expect the man to go and buy crude in dollar and you expect him to sell it to you in Naira. As a marketer. No. Because you, as the same marketer, if you want to go and import, you go and import in dollars. So these are the things on ground. So I just wanted to explain, because I heard somebody was, and I said that explanation was not, I'm not sure the person understood the subject matter properly. This thing, you need technical knowledge. Like things I'm talking about, like Operation Gazelle, you will know I know the subject matter. I'm not sure whoever was analyzing yesterday or talking about it was talking about Operation Gazelle. You need in-depth knowledge to be able to know what is happening.
Okay. Can we take on some of the stories quickly before you leave?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
There is this bill now that they're talking about. The House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill proposing to conduct presidential, gubernatorial, and national and state assembly elections and even local government polls on the same day. On the same day, Rufai. What do you think?
Presidential?
All.
Gubernatorial? State assembly?
Local government polls on the same day. All of them on the same day.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Are you sure?
If that was done in the last election, some people will not be governor in some states today.
Okay.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think so. The practicality of it, yes, you might have to bolster logistics, but I don't think it's a bad idea.
Okay.
After this last election, we wish we conducted presidential and governorship election the same day. Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten? So,
but then let's look at INEC's readiness before they start telling you glitches or whatever.
No. Please, don't mind that funny INEC. There's no glitch anywhere. They know the kind of glitch that happened, the political glitch that they did. There was no glitch in sending the results of the Senate forward. Why was it only the presidential election they had glitch? So they know what they've not explained to us what happened. So please, let's not mind that analogy of glitch. If you had a glitch, you'll be able to show us the result of the glitch. Computer, we have the track record. Where's the track record? Has INEC shown you anything till date? I'll show you. They just said they had a glitch. So please forget all of that.
Okay.
If computer is garbage in, garbage out, if you had a failure record on the glitch, you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
Oh,
let's go a little bit political before you go. Atiku is calling for urgent restructuring and is hinting at a major political move. In fact, another paper says I am not sure if I will run, says Atiku Abubakar. Now he's talking about a political move. He's planning.
No, he's not. No. The latest interview, in fact, that interview will break over the weekend. That was the interview where he said he knows, Atiku Abubakar was speaking, that he knows Akpabio always abuses women. He said it in that interview. In fact, what's it called went viral yesterday, the advert for the interview by Adesua Giwa Osage yesterday. In that interview, when he was asked about the coalition, he made mention of 2015 that there were many other people that ran in the coalition primaries. And when the winner emerged, they all backed up the winner. He has not said expressly that he will not run. See, Atiku's willingness to run will constantly be an albatross of any coalition. That's just all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow.
That's just it. Yes, Atiku's willingness to run will constantly be an albatross for any coalition.
But some persons have said Atiku might really not run. He might decide to support someone this time around. Maybe Peter Obi or, just someone.
Keep having wishful thinking. Because the man has not expressly said he's not going to run. The man has not said he's not going to run. I can also tell you that from the grapevine, a lot of people that I know that have spoken to, I've told you that as long as he breathes air in his lungs, this man will run. So keep having wishful thinking. No.
Many soldiers fed killed as Boko Haram attacks Borno military base.
Very sad one. We do for our hearts for our soldiers. We commiserate with them. It's a very sad one. It is well, my brother. I have to go.
All right. I'll leave you now. Thank you, Rufai.
Bless you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. VOP 90.3 FM. Let's again digest, some of the things that Rufai has made mention of. And then that's why I quickly want to have a few minutes with CP Chuksenwomu. All right. There are some other stories I would love to, touch on, especially that of Kano State, because a lot is about to play out in Kano State, and I don't know where these will end, actually. All right. But hey, everyone, feel free, like I said, to join the conversation. All right. Let's get your views. Get to the comment section and type something. Just drop a message, and we'll get to read it in real time. All right. Thank you so much. Our WhatsApp portal is 08171756338. 08171756338. I'll go on a very short break, and when I return, we'll talk to CP, and then I'll take your call. Stay there. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back from that break. Okay, let's talk, everyone. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp 081 717 56338. 081 717 56338. If you want to call me, endeavor to move away from your radio set or just turn down the volume so we can hear each other. Just about 60, okay, 120 seconds for everyone. That's about 2 minutes, right? Yeah, 2 minutes for you. Move away from your radio set. Mind what you say on the national radio. 0700 903 903 903. Good morning to you. What's your name and your location?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good thanks calling.
Okay.
Based on the attack of the soldiers in their barracks, I just want to say something this morning. Our government knows what is going on. Why do I say this? When you are talking about the intelligence, there's no how our military will do that perfect work on intelligence without guiding themselves. What do I mean? When our government goes in capturing terrorists, bandits, enemy herdsmen, and so on and so forth, they say that they are live and they give them training, brought them into military, police, and so on and so forth. Now, what do you think? That thing that happened in the barrack, the question I want to ask is, it will be very hard for a proper trained military man to dispatch, bring out information that will destroy a particular barrack. It is very hard. Why do I say this? When you see what happened to that military barrack, you begin to see that this is the handwork of intruders that did this. Secondly, I just want to say something concerning this. Does it mean that our military barrack doesn't have gadgets that can track in or that can bring all those information to their doorstep before every other thing will happen? Starting from the guard to inside where they are living. Why do I say this? Our government.
Hello? Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Thank you anyway. 0700 903 903 903. And then I told you if you want to reach me via WhatsApp, you're also free to do that. 081 717 56338. 081 717 56338 is the number. And someone is saying here, he said, a country where the president appoints CGN, INEC chairman, and even own the legislators. Believe me, Nigeria's structure is gone in this administration. That's what he's saying. Okay, let me talk to you first. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to comment. Wilberforce.
Okay.
Commander Wilberforce.
All right.
The strength of the Nigerian army is very low. The army have no proper equipment to fight. The soldiers are young boys and inexperienced. That's just all I know. And then there is always a sabotage. There are insiders inside the military. In our days, intelligence gathering before any combat is of essence. I've looked at the Nigerian army. We are not talking about rat-tagged Boko Haram. Our soldiers are with AK-47. Rifles, combat rifles have gone beyond AK-47. There are advanced weapons. Now I've looked at the Nigerian army. Where are the tanks? Where are the armored vehicles? Combat. There should be artillery. Even if Nigerian army is properly equipped like in our days, I tell you the tanks are moving. We don't just go and expose these boys to be massacred. A whole barracks, no tanks, no armored vehicles, no mechanized, strong mechanized units, no modern weapons. Look at the American soldiers. Look at the Canadian army. Look at the Swedish army. I've seen the way these guys are equipped. When we were in UNIFIL in Lebanon, we see how intelligence gathering is done. How we're fighting about 3 units, both Hezbollah, both the PLO, and other insurgencies there. There's always a way of doing this thing. One, the army is not properly trained.
Okay.
They are too young. I've seen all of them. I've interviewed so many of them. A soldier that does not understand map reading.
Wow.
Even the origin of the rifle, the caliber of the ammo he's having in his hand, it cannot explain. It cannot even say this is where this weapon came from. So there are just a lot of things.
All right.
Look at the army, no tanks, no heavy armored vehicles.
Thank you.
So the federal government should do something. These boys are just dying.
Thank you so much.
It's painful.
Appreciate you.
Thank God.
Yeah. Hello, good morning to you.
Oh,
Good morning.
What you have?
Uh-oh.
This is Paul from Egbeda.
Welcome.
How was the night, sir?
Great, great. What's your opinion? Let's go.
Yeah, number
Just
one.
share your opinion. Yeah.
I support the election to be one day. All the election, just like in the United States, it should be one day. That's number one. Number two, I think it's an embarrassment that a non-professional soldiers overrun a trained professional soldiers, a whole barracks. In fact, there should be an inquiry set up because something is wrong somewhere. And number three, I have not heard from the presidency about the execution of the 3 Nigerian soldiers about 2 weeks ago that was trending online. Nobody has spoken anything about it from the presidency. Does it mean that the life of those soldiers are not worthless? So something should be done. Nigeria is not going the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your call. Good morning to you.
My brother.
Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah.
What's your name?
You have Comrade Akpan calling in from Magodo Estate, Lagos.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I've listened to a lot of opinions. You see, the issue of insecurity and the issue of ragtag soldiers overrunning our barracks here and there did not start today. You are a journalist. Let me tell you, sir, most of the reports we are getting about racketeering within the rank and file of the military is nothing than the truth. It's not far away from the truth that within the rank and file of the military, from the top, they will release budgets, they will bring in weapons. At the end of the day, the people who are supposed to be our enemies now find those Nigerian military weapons bought with our taxpayers' money in their hands. How did it get to their hands? If it is not within the rank and file of the military and the top politicians and top business gun merchants in Nigeria. I don't want to mention them here, but online allegedly, someone who is taking care of the defense, whether it is true or not, are the ones, giving rice, supplying rice to the criminals because of the fasting and all that. Is it today we started hearing this? They will continue to run our barracks because some people believe that Nigeria belongs to them. Religiously, they will have some religious affiliation with some other criminals from the neighboring West African Nigeria and the northern part of West African northern part of Africa and the West. Because of the religion, they come to run down our country here. So when I hear this thing, my uncle retired as a captain. If I want to talk about the military, I live with him in several barracks. So what are we talking about? So except those people who infiltrated the army are being taken away. I sent a message to your station yesterday when Esther was doing program with the CP. It did not, because of time, she did not read that message. The 400 names that United Arab Emirates Authority sent, what happened? Have you heard anything about it? Within the rank and file, within here, there are people who are very, very much in the business of making this Nigeria unstable so that they will sell their guns. In different wars in Nigeria, when the guns are being captured by the Nigerian customs and other sister security companies,
Okay.
Agencies, have you had any prosecution? So it is something that is within us here, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. 0700 903 903 903. We're now being joined by CP Chuks in Wowo. Good morning to you, sire. Welcome.
Good morning to you, Ikami Judy, and to the listeners.
Good morning to you. Good morning. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja, has set aside action previously delivered against the reinstatement of Muhammadu Sanusi II and the 16th Emir of Kano. In other words, Sanusi and Bayero have taken Kano Emirate tussle to Supreme Court. CP, your take on that?
Well, let us see what will happen at the Supreme Court. But it is very, very strange to hear that type of judgment from the Court of Appeal. And secondly, I don't know the grounds upon which they deliver the judgment. Until maybe one cites it and go through it, we'll be able to know the grounds. Maybe the critical area may not have been touched. Nothing stops the Supreme Court overruling what the Court of Appeal must have decided on. But let us keep our fingers crossed till they get to that, that highest court in the land. Then we will now see what will play out.
You're a military man, CP. How would you look at this story? Military. Boko Haram going into a military base and killing soldiers. Information reaching us here says that many soldiers were killed as Boko Haram attacks Borno military base. A military base, CP Chuks. A military base. How would you describe this?
Borno State is badly and heavily infested by Boko Haram and ISWAP. And whether you call the place a military base or not, it is still vulnerable to attack by those people. And those miscreants are highly sophisticated. And secondly, you find out that the people that populate that military base would have come from different parts of the country. They are not natives, they are not locals, and for their safety and security sake, they will usually confine themselves more in the barrack group or something.
Okay.
The problem is around them. There are these locals too. The Boko Haram would have infiltrated that area, and some of the locals would have turned informants who may even be coming into the barracks on the pretense to render service or supply or sell things to the soldiers. They will now use the opportunity to know all the weaknesses they have within the barracks or within the base, the forward operation base. They will now go and give these details to these hardened bandits, and insurgents. And I believe that is what they would have capitalized on to take the soldiers unaware. Because come to think of it, even if you keep some soldiers to maintain vigil and, you arm them with light arms. You understand what I'm saying?
Of course.
Nobody ever expects that such a heavy attack will come against them. And more so, from what I gathered, it happened at night. So those few may not be in a position to challenge the enormous and massive attack of these miscreants. Because once we are taking on our ways, the best thing you do first is to save your own head and then think of defending yourself. So I'm sure by the time it happened, those other ones who were not on duty would have been running for their dear lives. That would have given these people an edge to overrun the place.
All right, CP. Finally, before I let you go, INEC, Natasha, Obi Ezekwesili, and Senator, what's his name now? Mwabus. I don't know how you look at that incident. I mean, that's some. I just want to see some words right now. Very crazy, occurrence there. Because tension ran high that same yesterday. During the hearing of that sexual harassment filed by Kogi Central lawmaker Natasha. As the members of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Petitions engaged in a heated exchange with former Education Minister Obi, Ezekwesili. I don't know how you want to caption that this morning on your own, CP.
On my own, I feel that some of the people we have in that red chamber, unfortunately, are not matured persons, or I don't want to use the word irresponsible persons. How can a senator of the Federal Republic be shouting on top of his voice and behaving like one rough cut who is so uncultured, who is a gutter person, who is a street man? Because those are the behaviors or attributes expressed by that senator you have just mentioned. I was so disappointed. I said, you are talking to a woman. She has not, which words did she even use against you or against the subject matter? That he will lose his control and be calling her all sorts of names in a public sitting like that. It's a public hearing like that is being televised and is being watched by people. And these things with social media, it doesn't end here. People all over the globe would have seen that. Because if you look at even what happens in other climes, where a legislator was tongue lashing the Speaker of the Parliament for accepting to take a salary from 600 and something to 1 million. He said, is that what they came to assembly to do? Is it to line their pockets with public funds? That they're there to make laws that will benefit the generality of their country. You understand what I'm saying? So that should have been the focus and interest of the National Assembly, both chambers, whether the red or the green chambers. But unfortunately and sadly too, you find out that the opposite has always been the case. I pray that as time goes on, we'll have better and responsible cultured persons in both houses of assembly who will think more of even the masses and give fairness and equity and justice to Nigerians.
Do you think INEC will still go ahead? Because right now they said that the petition submitted, for her recall, fell short of some requirements. Do you think they will go ahead with that?
Yes. How are they going to go ahead with it when it is short of requirements? Unless that one would not be height of impunity. That means we have no hope anymore.
That means it's finished.
Yes, it is totally finished. The entire Nigerians are watching, And already we know from their body language the persons that are behind this, and the person that is hoping to be the beneficiary. This a man who had been governor, and since he left office, he has been in hiding because the AFCC has been chasing him from one point to the other until there was behind the scene discussions and arrangement. He finally surfaced. Now his interest is to go to Senate through the back door. He had no patience at all to even wait till 2027 so that the woman's tenure would have finished. He is now hell-bent that he must enter the red chamber so that he will become relevant. Because he has come to find out that Section 188 and others that covered him as executive governor is no longer there. So he has come to find out that he's under the umbrella and shadow of his boy, who happens to be the present governor that he installed. A governor that told people that if he gives order as a governor and his godfather gives a counter order, they should go and obey his godfather's counter order and not his own. You can imagine. So it's a very sad and pathetic thing that we are seeing in this Fourth Republic and in the name of democracy. They are decapitating the democracy and making it look as if we are not serious-minded people and nation. And this is how the outside world will also be seeing Nigeria. It's very sad.
All right, TP, thank you so much. Former Vice President, before I let you go, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar said that he does not know if he will contest the presidency in 2027. And I want to ask you, how will these affect positively or negatively the People's Democratic Party?
Which of the former Vice President? You mean
Atiku Abubakar, yes.
Okay. You see, the thing is this. Atiku has a right to contest. The Constitution did not say he wouldn't. And the only thing that I think he's soaring is to beat this age 10, because he knows that if he misses it in that 2027, he will just bid bye-bye to becoming the president of Nigeria, because by 31, age won't be on his side anymore. And, well, let him go ahead. If he's lucky and gets the ticket, that does not mean automatically he's going to win the election, because that sentiment still remains that South has just done only 4 years by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu also have a right to do a second term or to contest second term. So if there should be a fierce fight in that coming election, from what I foresee, it will be between Bola Ahmed Tinubu and somebody else from the South. I don't know whoever he is going to be or whatever part of the country is going to come from. Not somebody from the North. The Northerners will not even support anybody coming from that part of the country. They will tell the person to wait for 2031 so that this gentlemanly agreement will continue to flourish. So it's unfortunate. Atiku could have made it in 2003, but somehow he missed it. On his own, he was convinced, wait, in 27, we'll give it to you, 2 terms of 8 years. And he, because everybody was behind him, even all the governors that time. They said they had a gentlemanly agreement in Jos in 1998. Convention that nobody should spend more than 1 term, so that the thing will be going from region to region. But he was deceived and he lost it. That is why the thing has been haunting him since that time till date.
Okay.
And in 2027, I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel for him, because that 27 he was hoping to take the thing. It was a time issue of third term came up again. So you can see the conflict of interest from both sides and both camps. At the end of the day, the 2 sides lost. And Yaradua now fine.
All right.
211, he couldn't get it. 215, he could not get it. 219, whether at primary level or in the general elections, he has been missing them. Because there's time for everything.
Okay.
Once you miss your time, it's gone.
CP Troops, finally, before you go, there is a very big story here. I consider it very huge because it's going to help or affect the country positively or negatively, right? Now, there was this proposed bill by the House of Representatives to simultaneously conduct all elections into the offices of the president, state governors, national assembly, state houses of assembly, and even the local government areas election on the same day. And this has actually elicited mixed reactions among stakeholders. While some Nigerians agree with the need to, compress election days and save avoidable costs, some also raised their reservations about Nigerians and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC's readiness for the proposed cumbersome phase. Now, same election, all elections in one day, CP. I just want to get your opinion briefly on this.
Well, I subscribe and support wholly that idea of all the elections in one day. Number one is that it's going to save costs, like you have just highlighted. Then number two is that it will not give space or room for either issue of bandwagon effect or for people to go and strategize on a way to be a must-win election. Because if, for instance, they did all elections in one day, what happened in Lagos wouldn't have happened. All these acrimony, fights, threats to life, arson and them either burning some facilities or even killing and maiming people wouldn't have arisen. Because at the end of the day, whoever won Lagos, his candidate would have possibly then, I say might have possibly won Lagos. And it would have been a lot of relief and joy in the hearts of the people. Because when the governorship election came after the presidential, we all saw what happened. People were even chased away from polling stations. They didn't even stop people from even coming out. And so, because they were desperate. They were scared that what happened in the first one would repeat itself. But if it was subsumed that all the elections took place on that same day, it's not a rocket science. INEC can conduct that. What is so special about it, especially with this electronic technology being used? If they use the IRF as, honestly and as expected, it will give result of everything that same day, and people will just go to sleep.
Okay.
They've been trying it in some African nations, and it's been working for them. So our own shouldn't be different.
Okay. Thank you, CP. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Let's get back to you now. 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp 081 717 56338. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm still with you, Balfours.
All right.
I'm really troubled to hear that the whole army base was overrun by Boko Haram. The soldiers killed our Nigerian soldiers. I just still believe that Nigerian government is not ready to equip the Nigerian army. At least 300 MPPs. If there are 300 main battle tanks with high velocity forward guns of 155 mm, 255 mm forward guns, 300 main battle tanks, backed with about 300 artillery pieces of 155 mm. There's no way Boko Haram can stand in that Sambisa or stand anywhere to fight the army. I just believe that our soldiers are ill-equipped. That is just one thing. Then the enemy is infiltrating their ranks. No proper training. But first of all, weapons. You cannot be using AK-47 at this time. There are more advanced combat rifles. These are just the problem. You cannot tell me that a Boko Haram, are there no forward-line troops? There should be forward-line troops, heavily armed. There should be scouts, tanks and armor, backed by heavy artillery weapons, backed by mobile force of the army. I can't just understand. I can't understand it.
Thank you.
I can't be soldiers be killed and executed every day, and we are here rejoicing, eating and dancing and playing, doing politics.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
it.
you.
Thankful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mazu Gochuku is saying Super Eagles should stop playing and go to Lakpabio Stadium because the stadium is on. Those behind illegal recording of Senator Natasha should be probed. Bayo Nanuga should learn how to respect achievers, calling Peter Obi names by time. He said something against federal government shows how frustrated he is. Free Mazi Namdekano. Hello, good morning to you.
Etajide, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, you have Mr. Mbako from Elasamaja.
Okay.
Yeah, Ekamijude, the loss of the Nigerian soldier souls in Boronu, it's a very good, sad one. It's a very sad one for me. And you can see, as they are deliberating concerning Natasha and the Senate and this and that, nobody wants to talk about that one. Seeing that the life of a common Nigerian is not meaningful to these people, to leaders, to the government. Do you know what it means for bandits or Boko Haram to break the base of Nigerian soldiers and slaughtered many? How do you feel as a nation? Have a president as chief of army staff or whatever, what will I put it, as a first number one class, have then spoke about losing of Nigeria, so that I mean the people who sworn to serve their people. Have presidents talk about it? The answer is zero. But they are busy talking about Nashate, the Senate. So now, are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, now, president have never addressed anything about that. Showing that this kind of tragedy happened to us as people. They don't talk about that. But I just want to say, if this thing happened in the eastern part of this country, you will know that Nigeria have a fighter jet. You will know that Nigeria have all the whole ammunition they have. And the Operation Python Dance will be dancing over there as we talk.
All right.
It's a shame.
Thank you.
It's a shame.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me quickly read some of these messages now, okay? The display from our senators yesterday is nothing but shameful. His choice of words depicts arrogance and pride. That's a reflection of who we are. What's your name now? I've missed that one. Thank you anyway. Benjamin from Shogunle is saying, sometimes the way our senators talk, their speech, one finds it difficult to differentiate them from garage boys. It is high time Nigeria invite international communities to help us fight this Boko Haram war to save our soldiers from being killed on a daily basis in Borno and other parts of the country. The presidency is quick to reply Peter Obi for speaking out the truth on, of course, the position of Nigerian policies, instead of them to answer Borno, Boko Haram killing soldiers in Borno State. What are you saying? Benjamin from Shogunle, thank you so much. Anyway, the killing of a woman and her daughter in Edo by the husband is totally condemnable. I urge couples to engage in more dialogue to resolve their problems, or at worst, separate peacefully instead of killing each other, no matter the amount of provocation or offense. May her soul and that of her daughter rest in peace. Congratulations to Argentina as they qualify for the World Cup. From HRH BC Nwoko in Oshodi. You know, this thing you said, asking husband and wife to separate. Some people don't want to hear that one. No, he's against. No. Bible did not talk about. From me to you this morning, if I know they do well, when I separate. Separation is never a crime again. Just like love is never enough again. In those days, they say love is everything. No, now it's not enough. Instead of now killing ourselves, at least want to separate in peace first. Okay, because of my time, let me go forward. Let me move on to say something different. I am waiting for the day Bayo or Nanuga will caution Atiku or Jonathan the way he did to Peter Obi. They are taking Peter Obi's quietness for weakness. Obi from Diamond Estate, right? Thank you so much. It is so sad that people in power are incompetent to handle the national issues to handle and transact national issues to the benefit of the masses of the country. Let those allegedly reviewing our constitution look into punishing everyone who puts the nation into unwarranted debt and losses. presidency should heed my advice and that of other well-meaning Nigerians, people to work more and war less. This reply. Osimwaji, thank you. I'm trying to get what he's saying. Greetings to you, Prince Iotek from Arena Market. Yes, judiciary should judiciary have taken the work of INEC and executive have taken the work of judiciary. Boko Haram attacking soldiers' camp. Are they invincible? Is it not one that gives them the information? And if insurgency exceeds 24 hours, government hands in it. We're in democracy, but in Rivers, it's pre-military. The scandal in Senate will soon affect all the Senate. Thank you. Guys, I have to run now. I have to run. I would read some of these other messages much later when I return. Okay? Okay. They say I have some few more minutes. Okay, let me see. Let me read them. Good morning, VUP members. Ibezim is saying this APC government is gradually destroying this country. Imagine terrorists entering army barracks, killing soldiers, something that cannot happen in another country. I wait for Nigeria. Until INEC and judiciary give the right people a chance to govern Nigeria, this country cannot move forward. Please let them release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Good morning to you. Holding all the general elections in one day is a very good one. It will reduce INEC cost and reduce electoral manipulations. My submission to that. Thank you so much. What's your name? SK from Ikotun. Thank you. And then this person is saying, where is Wike? Let him go and fight in creeks and stop pipeline blowing up, because I heard him saying that anybody can be militant. Fabian from Festac. Akwa Ibom Stadium will never favor Super Eagles because of the name Godzilla Pavio Stadium. Fabian, thank you so much. Adigbo, what's your take on this?
Today, good morning.
Godzilla Pavio Stadium.
You know what I did my sports show on Sunday on Kahamara? A lot of people said, a lot of callers, they were like, Adigbo, please, we don't like that stadium. We don't always have this block in that stadium. They should move it to Abuja or Port Harcourt. But that's the only approved stadium for now from FIFA. They said it on Sunday. Even yesterday morning, they were lamenting about. They said the name
no carry and go there.
The name alone, no.
You can imagine when they scored that their goal.
90 minutes. I was watching it. I was like, what's happening? 90 minutes. The goal Oshime scored on 74 minutes. They could not defend it. The defense yesterday, for that remaining few minutes, the defense was whack. I'm telling you.
Wow, Nigeria.
I know many of them that followed me on Kahamara on Sunday. They will be happy because they said it. They say that stadium. This is not the first time now. Check the history now. How many games we've played here? How many did we win?
Jonathan Oba is saying what happened in Uyo yesterday is a typical example of how Nigeria is run by our leaders and administrators. They expect success without plan. Success can never come to those who didn't plan for it. That's what he's saying. And then, well, let me just read this last one and I'm good to go. No life was lost and the so-called champion of democracy declared a state of emergency in Rivers State while our soldiers are being killed almost on daily basis up north without any response from Mr. President. This shows that the government has sinister motive concerning Rivers State. I hope the labor unions will make good their threat to down tool if the declaration is not reversed within the next few days. Why is the sole administrator making sensitive appointments? Is he permanent? Anaklet, thank you so much from Alagbado. My name is Jude, Ikami Jude, and of course I will be here by 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. I will be here and then we'll talk better, right? I'll read I'll read more of these messages and then take more of your calls. Like I said, Ikami Jude is my name, and that is it on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. Ikami Jude. I'll see you again, everyone. Good morning to you.